So this is 2021 Renfro Valley Dual Sport, looking at over 100 miles today. We're at the KOA and there are, I don't even know, 300, 400 bikers here. Everyone's like 40-year-old, 50-year-old guy. So I guess this is the thing to do once you hit that midlife. See you guys on the trail. Ooh, a little mud. I got one guy between us. So this type of traffic only really lasted for about the first hour, and I was glad that Mike and I had Cardo headsets so we can communicate. Yeah, I'm good. I'm catching up. I see you. I'm coming up. I'm on your left here now. This was my first dual sport event, and the ride was supposed to be just over 100 miles. That's if you stay on all the normal trails. But if you take any of the advanced loops, then it's going to be even longer because those things curve back into the main trails. Now those advanced loops even had some hero sections on them. I don't think that Mike and I ever got into the hero sections, but the advanced stuff was definitely pretty gnarly. Even the regular terrain was actually really challenging. I looked on at some of the guys who had actual dual sport motorcycles instead of dirt bikes, and they were struggling. I mean, they were falling all over the place, and in all honesty, unless you're an experienced dirt bike rider, this was a lot to handle. All right, I'm waiting on you. Woo! What do you say, Mike? You happy about that seat?
I am. Money well spent, son.
Seat concepts.
Now
the 2005 KTM that I got already had this seat concepts. You can see how wide it is, and man was this thing comfortable, especially for this longer ride. So Mike had to get one too. So this was the point of interest that they told us about, and we rode right over the top of this arch. We wouldn't have even known about it except the signs, and you can see it's actually like a double arch. So I said, I'll go down and scope it out for you guys. Yeah, you see my video. Yeah. Everyone else. I said, I'll take a video. You guys can watch it later. It's actually like two arches. It's pretty freaking cool. Now with all these branches just super tight, it wound up grabbing onto my odometer cable and kind of ripping it out. I had to tuck it back in here, and in all honesty, these branches were tight everywhere. It was bigger ones like this that actually ripped off the antenna on my Cardo Pack Talk. Thankfully it still worked, but not sure how I'm going to repair that. Unfortunately, one of the falls that I took actually bent the exhaust and also dented the pipe, which pushed into the radiator hose and actually cut a little slit in it. So I was leaking radiator fluid, and we had to do a little repair job on the side. It always helps to have a mechanic with you, and thankfully Mike was able to repair that hose piece and just barely stretch it long enough to cover that crack. But during lunch I was able to hook up with a local who took me to a junkyard. We got some radiator hose and was able to patch things back up. Now I knew I had leaked some antifreeze, and thankfully another guy had a bottle of water we were able to add to that. But what I didn't realize is that actually overheated and the water pump seal broke. So I actually had antifreeze and water leaking into my transmission. Not good. I'm okay. I fell, but I'm all right. Oh. Now, all of this single track was a lot of fun to ride, but I've never been forced to focus for this long. And the exhaustion that took place both mentally and even physically, you can't see it here, but there was tons of roots and rocks just bouncing us and kind of beating us to death. 5 hours later. So the trails at Pike that are single track last about 30 seconds to 2 minutes. This is about what, 20 minutes straight. We had to take a break on this loop. Just mentally exhausting too, because you got to concentrate the whole time. So many roots and rocks bumping you all over the place. Whew. Definitely not trying to complain, because this was a lot of fun, but if you're not in shape, I would recommend getting into shape before going on to one of these dual sports. Now the day finished unfortunately with running out of gas, taking some wrong turns, and I didn't get any footage of that. But as you can see, coming home, the damage, that was all crimped. That water pump seal broke, overheated, and that's where the radiator hose had gotten pinched in there. You can see that's not the proper color of ATF fluid. Also had some damage to my knee braces where I'd fallen, the buckles wound up breaking off. So it was a rough trip, but definitely worth it.